Alright, back here for round deuce. On the draw with this hand, I'm gonna keep this. I've got lands, plenty of lands to cast all my spells. I've got interaction for early creatures, and then I've got a spreading seas. So, alright, well, drawing a plains is not what we wanted to see there, but I would not fault anyone for mulliganing that hand, just for the record, but, yeah. Alright, so it looks like we're playing against the Mirror. And we're just drawing all of our all-star cards against the Mirror. So I'm going to spread the plains and drew another land, which is just what we wanted. So 5 lands and 2 paths against a control deck. Outstanding. Okay, that does something at least. I'm like never in the habit of like conceding until the game is actually over, but I would be lying if I said that I wasn't considering just scooping like right now. But I'm gonna just try to play fast with whatever it is that I'm doing, and I'm not gonna talk about my decisions as much. I mean, we're just gonna kind of coast, because generally these games come down to time. So if I can have a clock advantage over my opponent, then that's good. So I should play Mysticate Pass. Want to be able to counter a Jace if he plays one. Okay, so let's do Visions. We're gonna bin both of these lands. The lands are important in the control mirror, but you don't want to draw 1,000 of them. I hate not playing lands, and he's just passing. Jeez, man, I'm freaking flooding like crazy, and I've got 3 Path to Exile on my hand. This is ridiculous. I have like the worst luck when it comes to mirror matches. Like, the last time I played against Blue Eye Control, I literally drew all 3 Wraths. Like, I drew all 3 Wraths, and I had like 2 Path to Exile on my hand or something like that. It's just ridiculous. And he drew like all 3 Cryptics and like 3 Jace. It's like, oh my god, dude. Come on. Like, I understand that your deck is like, constructed to, whatever, but like, there's certain cards that are just so bad in this matchup. They just do nothing. And I'm still I've drawn like all lands. Just gonna bounce a land and draw a card. Sure. I'll discard one of these Path to Exiles then, fine. I'm not particularly sure that it's ever correct to be using Cryptic Command as a cantrip boomerang. I could be wrong. Alright, well, I'm just gonna replay the Colonnade and pass. I mean, he got me to discard a card, but like I mean, this is game 1. Like, I could understand like if this was game 2, like post-board type thing, but I mean, I've got hundreds of dead cards in my hand. Like, you doing that to make me discard, I don't know. I would never do that. I would never bounce a call on that. But you're not accomplishing anything. Unless you're digging for something. Like if you just needed a land, maybe, I don't know. But you have a Search for His Content, and you've been, like, not graveyarding anything. And you've been missing land drops. I don't know. It's a... Can't really, know what his train of thought is, but... Sure, dude. I really don't care. I mean... You want to waste your Cryptic Commands bouncing a land at the end of my turn? Like, go ahead, dude. Really don't care. Now, the only consideration for that would be that he's gonna okay, never mind. I'm not even gonna finish my sentence then. What I was gonna say is that he was trying to keep me off 6 so that he could play a Jace or something threatening, and then have counter magic to protect it. But he's just gonna flip as Kanta, which is totally fine. If he wants to try to play something, he can. But I'm just gonna kill it with Field of Ruin. So okay, there's Kanta. Riding the tutor away from. I've got Leak and Logic Knot up. Okay, so he's gonna look. Grab himself a Gideon Jure. It's totally fine. That gets blown up, and we've got an island. And just pass. So I'm not worried about Jura because I have the path in my hands. I don't think that I even counter it if he casts it. I don't even think I fight over it, to be honest. I'm just gonna let that happen. Sure. My things attack your thing. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this lets me play. Actually, 7, 8. I'm gonna play Island and pass. If he attacks with the Gideon, I want to be able to. Oh crap! I miscounted. It doesn't matter. Whatever. If he attacks with the Gideon, I want to be able to path it and have up like oodles of counter magic. But as it stands, I'm pretty sure I'm just taking this hit because I miscounted. But that's okay. Spreading Seas. That's a good draw. Play Delta, and I have one island left in my deck that I can fetch. So that works. So I'll be able to path and then have a Cryptic Leak Knot. Was this a giant Sphinx's Revelation? Okay. Sure. I do not want this to resolve. That is for sure. But the question is how do I want to counter it? And I think the answer is the Logic Knot. Let me back up. Let me break this first. He's also got the main deck Ghost Quarter, so I highly doubt that he has. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I highly doubt he's got Crucible in the main deck, maybe. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Done. So counter that unless you pay 5, and then if you have Cryptic Commands, that's fine. Or anything. But no, friend, you wasted your Cryptic Commands boomeranging me for no gain. Good job. Oh man, he is going balls to the ball. Alright. At this point I might consider Cryptic Commanding to bouncing something, but before combat I'm gonna path Gideon. Probably got one basic island left. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So I need to find, I have, what, 3 seas and 5 lands. Oh, I used a field, didn't I? 3 seas and 4 lands. So I have 7 ways to get rid of Colonnade. Oh, that actually works a lot. So I can go seas this Colonnade. There's Sphinx Revelation. Alright, so that's... I'm actually just going to play Colonnade and pass. He may very well have a lot of dead air in his deck right now also. He could have a lot of just whatever. like Supreme Verdicts, Paths, etc. in his hand. So, alright, well, I'm going to take this hit. And then end step, I'm going to play Sphinx's Revelation. I'm just going to go for the Gusto here. And I really don't care if he counters it. It's totally fine. Get your use out of your mana leak. I don't care about Sphinx's Revelation resolving. What I care about resolving is this Gideon. So now I'm able to cast Gideon with Cryptic and Leak back up and then walk down his Celestial Colonnade. So now I can cast Serum Visions also because I have Cryptic Leak up still. There's a Sphere. Flooded Strand doesn't do anything. And I don't want the second Sphere, so I'm going to bin both of those. Glad I cast that. So now I've got Cryptic Leak up, which doesn't really help me a lot, unfortunately. But we'll see. Depends on how much he wants to tap. Detention Sphere. So he's gonna try to sphere my Gideon. If I Cryptic Command countering this, he's got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He's got 10 mana up. Okay. I have to let that resolve. There's not a lot that I can do about it. Because we can easily just pay for this leak. 4, 5, 6, 11, 12, 13. He's got 13 lands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So he's got 3 lands up on me. Alright, there's Jace. So I can counter Jace and draw a card. And then, I mean, he's probably just got like another mana leak or something. Oh wow, that actually resolved. Whoa. Huh, interesting. Alright, well, I'm gonna cast another Gideon, actually. Let's see what happens. If he's got Cryptic commands or Snapcaster Mage, then I can win this fight. Otherwise, I cannot. Now the question is, do I want to play Jace? And I think the answer is yes. I've got 2 Jaces, so if he's got a counter spell, I can just let it resolve. Otherwise, I can start brainstorming. Or maybe I want to Fate Seal. Do I want to Fate Seal? I can start Fate Sealing him. Let's just start. Yeah, let's just start Fate Sealing him. Yeah, I'm just gonna bin that. It doesn't really matter, I mean, because he's basically gonna see the top card anyways. The only difference is that he's gonna tap 2 and he's going to kill one of my Colonnades. The Colonnade doesn't matter as much because he's got Ghost Border, so it's like whatever. But I mean, I just don't want him like shutting off my white sources either, because without, like, if he was to draw Seas, like after that, yeah. My god. Alright, so he's gonna take out the Gideon, which is fine. I still have 7 ways in my deck to kill his Colonnade. And that's one of them. So we're just gonna spread the seas. Spread the sickness. Alright, and we drew a Cryptic Command, which is great. So now we still have Cryptic Leak up, which is awesome. Dang. Well, Man, if I do, then I still have a couple of turns, but man, I think I just gotta dump it. I gotta start playing faster. I'm losing. I'm a full minute behind, and it's gonna end up mattering. So put the con on the bottom. I have to assume that like his hand is just overloaded. Like, I mean, there's no universe in which he doesn't have like at least one like dead card on his deck. Yeah, we'll just do the same thing as we did before and just bin the C's. The things that I will keep on top are probably like, I don't even know honestly at this point. Mana Leak probably I'd keep on top. I'd probably keep Supreme Verdict I would definitely keep on top. Path to Exile I would keep on top. Alright, so he's just done. He just does not want to go any further. And I don't blame him. I've got Cryptic Negate up with Leak to try to do something. Alright, so here we get to go crazy. So we're going to bring in Dispel Negates, Disdainful Stroke. We're going to bring in 3 Geist to St. Traps. We're going to bring in the Rune Halo. Not bringing in Rest in Peace, but I am going to bring in the Crucible of Worlds, and I'm going to bring in the Blessed Alliance. So cuts we make. Settle the Wreckage. 2 walls. I am a fan of cutting Leak, actually, in this deck, against this deck, just because like it just doesn't do anything. Definitely cutting Jura, cutting Leak, and I'm going to trim on Path. And by trim I mean get rid of it completely. So here's my viewpoint on this, and I explained this a little bit in my deck tech. Path to Exile is really bad against control because you are ramping them. And you don't ever want to ramp a control deck. That said, the cards that it answers really are Gideon's, but Blessed Alliance also answers Gideon. And then you have Spear to just take care of the Gideon as well, and so on and so forth. Now, there could be an argument made that I want to leave into Path just as a hedge to get Gideons and stuff. This is where sideboarding becomes really difficult, because I don't know if he's going to have Geist of St. Traps of his own. From what I've seen, it's not played as much as it should be. So, like, you know, there's that factor, which is a possibility. So, I'm almost inclined to cut Verdict for Game 2. Since I've won a game, I'm inclined to cut Verdict for Game 2, and then maybe bring in Leaks to answer, like, early Gideons, or answer his Geists, maybe, instead of having Path to Exile, because Path is just bad. So maybe I'll just leave it in the Leaks. I mean, it's still good against countering Jace, like, on turn 4, and it's still just good to have more 2-mana counter spells. I would like to potentially have some Paths in there, but we'll see. And then anyways, Rune Halo is really good because you just name the problem that you're having. If you are getting smashed, or if you're getting smashed by a Celestial Colonnade, just name Colonnade. If you're getting browned up by a Gideon, just you know, grab a Gideon. So I might keep this hand. It's sketchy, but I am on the draw, and I have turn 2. Oh boy, that's really solid. I've got turn 2 Search for Azcanta, and then I've got, oh boy, this is really tough. This is really, really, really tough now. So I can play my own Search for Azcanta. I can play Spreading Seas. I can leave up Negate, or I can play Celestial Colonnade and see if maybe he taps to, I don't even know what he would do, like maybe cast Serum Visions or something, and then play another I don't know, and then just get ready to play Geist. I think I'm just gonna give myself the best position to win this game. He's got 4 cards. He's got a mulligan on the play in the control mirror. I can't imagine that he's got a lot of like lands and stuff, so I'm thinking that Geist is probably good enough. And he needs to have actual Mana Leak or Logic Knot, and with a fetch or an untapped land, or put something in the yard with this Kanta here. So like if he goes like Celestial Colonnade pass, so that was what I was somewhat worried about, but I still have a live chance to draw a white source off the top here, and if I do, crap. Well, that's really unfortunate, but I can still Serum Visions here. There's a Spreading Seas, another Seas. I don't want another Seas, but I do want this Colonnade, so I'm going to keep the Colonnade. And then I'm going to play lands, and we're getting near the point where he can cast a Jace, so I think that I want to leave myself open to countering it, so I'm going to just pass. So he'd been to Plains, so he's not looking for lands then. Alright, so now we play Colonnade and pass, because that way I can cast Geist with counter backup. So he's going to kill that, which is fine. Grab a Plains. And if he tries to Spreading Seas the Plains or something like that, I'm probably just going to counter that. I got time for that. Ghost Quarter does not do much. So Mana Leak. So the problem here is that if I play Geist, I only have one counter spell up. But he would have to have two counters, which is not totally unlikely. He's been keeping these on top and like whatever. I think what my plan is going to be is to play my own Search for Azcanta and then pass. I could also have played a Spreading Seas on his Colonnade, but like he might just try to come after me. Now, I almost wish that that land wasn't a Field of Ruin, because it might make him inclined to like just animate and attack. Because now it's likely that he might just like play something big. So he can play Jace and he's got a counter up. So now is probably the best time that I'll ever get to use this Mana Leak as an actual counter, but he's probably just going to counter back. Okay, that's fine. So he's probably brainstorming here. Yeah. But now I get to play Geist and have a counter spell up. So Geist can kill Jace, and unless he left in no, I'm gonna keep that on top. I want to hit my land drop, and it works. So the Geist is entrapped. Unless he left in Verdict, then he is in trouble. He could also settle the Wreckage, but I can counter that. So, and if I get to untap, then he's in big trouble. Because then I have free reign with all these counter spells. The only thing that he can really have is Snapcaster Mage, but he is digging. I imagine that this is going to be bottom, maybe bottom top. He's definitely putting the one on the bottom that he brainstormed away, I would imagine. So we bottom both. He's playing another Serum Visions. Man, he is digging really hard for something to answer this Geist. So we get to kill his Jace. Is he gonna shock? No, didn't shock. All right. So we are in a decent position. I think I'm actually just gonna kill his Colonnade right now with this Field of Ruin. He put a bunch of cards on the bottom, so if I can shuffle those back in, then that works out pretty well for me. And I just get to grab another island, which is gonna help me cast things like Logic Knot, you know, and put another card in my graveyard for the search. Yeah, I'm gonna put that Geist in the graveyard. I don't want another one right now. Tap all creatures your opponents control, draw a card. Alright, well, I'm gonna Logic Knot this for 1. I'm gonna get rid of this Geist in draft. So I'm gonna counter that unless you get 1. And then I'm gonna attack you. And I'm going to send the Angel token at Jace. So that kills that. And now this is kind of interesting because I've got my own Jace and he's tapped out, so I can play Jace and just get like ahead that way. He's got 3 cards in his hand and he's about to flip his Kanta. So if he did leave in something like Supreme Verdict, I can Spreading Seas one of his white sources, and then when he flips his Kanta or whatever, I kill the Kanta with the Field of Ruin. Did I play a land this turn? I did not play a land this turn. So I can play Spreading Seas on the Hallowed Fountain, draw a card, and then okay. I was gonna say if I hit a land, then I can play it and then still have a Field of Ruin. Right now I'm just leaving up Negate. So I have successfully killed his Jace, and now I have a Field of Ruin for his Kanta. He's still only going to get 1 activation out of his Kanta if he uses it, so... Oh man, he is just frantically digging for an answer. Ooh, Ruined Halo. Interesting. Doesn't really do a whole lot against Geist of St. Traft, though. I mean, he can name actual Geist of St. Traft, but the Angel token is unnameable. It's not an actual card. Well, he could hit my Field of Ruin with his Field of Ruin. That's kind of funny. Yeah. It's actually pretty good beats. I didn't even consider that. He had a Ghost Quarter showing, so that's pretty meh on my part. Well, countering this, what does that do? It increases my clock by a turn, right? Because if he names Geist, I think I just want to counter this. That's kind of interesting. It slows my clock enough to the point where I think that I want to do it, because now we're gonna have dueling as Kantas right now, but I'm gonna have a Jace, and if I hit a white source, then I'm gonna have a Gideon also. Detention Sphere. I'm gonna keep Sphere, and I'm gonna transform my Kanta. He's got a Ghost Quarter, but I get to smack with this Geist. And if he Ghost Quarters me, then I actually get to play Gideon. So I would fetch a Poignance. This is kind of an interesting situation, because I think what I want to do is actually play Jace. And I kind of want to bait him into killing his Kanta, like, without getting value out of it. Because, like, I just don't care. Like, I would rather just start, like, Fate Sealing him or Brainstorming every turn. I don't know. I think I just want to start Brainstorming. Yeah, I think I'm just going to play Jason Brainstorm. I'm going to float a blue here. And, yeah, go ahead and quarter me away, friend. I really don't actually care that much about this. Because now I'm going to... I think play Serum Visions first. Alright, so there's Spreading Seas and Field of Ruin. So those are 2 answers to lands from my opponent. So I'm going to keep both on top, and I'm going to Brainstorm. put back Sphere and Gideon, I guess. Play Field of Ruin, and then I don't really want to shuffle away what I just put on top, so I think what I'm going to do is just Spreading Seas the Azcanta and then leave up a Negate or Disdainful Stroke. Alright, so that was kind of a funky turn. I probably didn't play that optimally, but you know, it is what it is. It was kind of complex. I didn't really think about it. The problem with Blue-White Control online is that you have a lot of like things that require like deep thought, and you know, trying to do that like and maintain a quick clock is kind of difficult. So, all right, well, he had one card left, and I had a Geist that was going to kill him in 2 turns. It ended up working out, but that was really close. I'd like to get some feedback on how I played like that one turn, because that one turn was kind of bizarre. I did miss like him fielding my field earlier. That was kind of a mistake. In the end, it didn't really matter too much, but you know, I probably should have left up. And I don't know if countering Rune Halo like to keep my clock, you know, active is you know, a really good idea. So, you know, there was the what was I gonna say? So like, if he names Geist of Strange Trapped with the Rune Halo or whatever, so he was at 18. So then Angel Token would put him to 14, and then to 10, and then to 6, and then to 2, and then to 1. Whereas Geist put him from 18 to 12 to 6 to dead. So I mean, I don't know. I think that countering it, like, I don't know, because I didn't have another counterspell in my hand. Like, I mean, that was my last piece of counter magic, and he only had like 3 or 4 cards in hand or something like that. So I mean, like, there was a chance that he had like nothing. But I don't know. It was kind of a bizarre like closing turns, but it seemed to work out, and you get to see a little bit of the power of Geist of St. Trapped, and it doesn't look like my opponent left in any Supreme Verdicts. That or he was just never found one. So, anyways, we'll be back for another round. Stay tuned.